What if the silence after death is not the end we've been told? What if the breath leaves the body, but the soul still knows? What if the wait in the quiet is a door, not a wall? What if the judge is waiting and he knows us all? What if we were right all along? What if the truth was never gone? What if the cross was more than a sign, more than a story, more than time? What if the blood still speaks today, calling the lost to turn and stay? What if the narrow road is real and love is the reason we kneel? What if the scars in his hands still carry our names? What if the mercy we mocked is the fire we face? What if the grace we ignored was the last open door? What if the lamb we rejected is the lion of war? What if we were right all along? What if the truth was never gone? What if the cross was more than a sign, more than a story, more than time? What if the blood still speaks today, calling the lost to turn and stay? What if the narrow road is real and love is the reason we kneel? What if the word became flesh and walked in our dust? What if the tomb stood empty because death had to bow? What if the stone was rolled away, not to let him out, but to let the world look in and finally doubt its doubt? What if the Spirit still moves in the hearts of the weak? What if the broken and poor are the ones who see? What if the kingdom is upside down, the last made first? What if surrender is strength and pride is the curse? What if we were right all along? What if the truth was never gone? What if the cross was more than a sign, more than a story, more than time? What if the blood still speaks today, calling the lost to turn and stay? What if the narrow road is real and love is the reason we kneel? What if the question isn't if, but who will you be? When the sky splits open and eternity speaks, what if the choice was always yours and the light you refused? What if belief was never blind, just costly to choose? If he is who he said he was, then every word still stands. If he rose like the witnesses claimed, then history changed hands. If mercy waits with open arms and justice burns like fire, then now is the moment, not later, not higher. What if the fear isn't judgment, but love misunderstood? What if the cross was God saying, I would die if I could? What if the door is still open, the invitation true? What if the question of heaven is really about you? What if we were right all along? What if the was more than a sign, more than a story, more than time. What if the blood still speaks today, calling the lost to turn and stay? What if the narrow road is real and the love is the real?